baseball, the Rockies and Cardinals. Tyler Anderson will be on the hill. And it's time for our Choose Go starting pitcher preview, brought to you by Conoco. Two lefties, young Austin Gomber. He'll make his sixth start. He's been very solid for St. Louis. And for Anderson, he's had a very good year, though of late he's hit a couple of bumps in the road. For more on Mr. Anderson, we go downstairs, and here is Taylor McGregor. Hey, T-Mac.
Yeah, Drew, August has been a tough month for Tyler Anderson, which is weird considering in the month of July he had one of the best ERAs in all of the National League. So the turning point really came in St. Louis when the Rockies were facing the Cardinals. He had 6 straight innings, ended up walking 3 before coming out of the game. Buddy mentioned his release point a little bit off, and since then it's been tough for him to get back on track. You can look at the numbers before that start and after. Has yet to win a game with an 8.44 ERA. We asked Buddy what it's going to take to get Tyler back on track.
Better strikes. He worked a little bit on the side this time around on his release point, staying a little taller on his backside, using his height, 6'3", to create a little better angle. I thought we thought, Steve, Darren, and I, that his release point was off a little bit from pitch to pitch. So try to get a little more consistent there with his arm slot and release point.
Tyler Anderson never going to be a pitcher who's going to beat you with a 103-mile-per-hour fastball, but he is going to beat you with his location, which is why release point is so important, and he has been working religiously in those side sessions to correct it. Drew?
Well, he's had success in the past against St. Louis, and Mr. Doc is ready to go. Another big crowd expected at Coors Field. The Rockies in first place in the NL West. It's Colorado, it's St. Louis. Come on back to 20th and Blake with us. And it's a long drive center field. Base hit now. Welcome home, Big Daddy.
Felt like a young kid again, really, to be honest with you. And getting back out here and the reception was really cool.
And as many times as he's done this, stepped into a big league batter's box, the nerves have to be a little more profound right now. High drive, deep left, take a good look. You won't see it for long. Big Daddy has done it. A goosebump moment if there ever was one. Here come the Rockies. Take a good look. You won't see it for long. It is a perfect day for baseball as the Rockies will head out on the road after taking on the Cardinals today. Would be close to another sellout. The Rockies come in 71-58. The Cardinals a half game up in the National League wild card at 72-58. Last night, what do you do for an encore? Well, after you hit a bomb like that, you get to play a lot more. He's in left field starting against the left-hander Austin Gomber. So it's good to see Big Matt in left field today. He's waving to folks in purple. He's waving to folks in red because he is as popular as they come in Denver and extremely popular as well in St. Louis. On the mound, as we were talking about a few moments ago, Tyler Anderson, and 44 looking for a comeback, and he has typically been very, very good, historically good, in fact, Spilly at Coors Field.
He has been this season. He's 2-4 at home with the 3.65 ERA, but the last 4 starts for Tyler Anderson has been rough. An ERA over a 9, the fastball being hit at a clip about 460, and that's all because it's been in the middle portion of the plate. Changeup is his best secondary pitch. I think if he limits walks today and keeps the ball down, he'll be able to beat up on this Cardinals offense.
Well, the Cardinals offense always begins with this guy. He's having an MVP caliber season. Matt Carpenter in the Southwest batting order for Mike Schilt, the interim manager. Yachty's in there catching again. Day game after night game, does not matter. Jose Cafe Martinez, he'll bat third. Tyler O'Neill, Paul DeYoung's back in there. Jed Jericho, Harrison Bader, Jairo Munoz, and then pitcher Gomber. And here is pitch number 1 on a Sunday afternoon. It is in there, strike 1 at the upper portion of the zone. Carpenter scuffling a little bit of late, just 5 for his last 38. He can get hot once he leaves Denver. Tomorrow will be a day off, in fact, for St. Louis. They head home, take on the Pirates and the Reds next couple of series. The Rockies, they're back in business tomorrow with 2 ball games in Anaheim. Their off day this week will come on Wednesday, and then they'll play 4 in San Diego against the Padres. Shift on for Carpenter. Here's the 1-1, and it's cued foul. You better go get that. And Nolan realizing that, and that's a weird one. And Carpenter all of a sudden had to take off. Had he not killed this baseball in foul territory, Spilly, it may have come back fair.
I've seen this before. So much English on the baseball, and it hit the grains. Yeah, that was trickling close to fair territory. That might have become close.
That would have gone into the books as one of the strangest infield hits ever. I mean, that thing was like 10 feet foul.
I've seen guys make outs where they hit a ground ball completely foul and it rolls back fair and the first baseman tags you out. That's not a fun walk back to the bat rack.
I would think not. Here's the 1-2. Trying to feed it on the inside corner. Could not. 2-2. Chris Iannetta working in tandem with Tyler Anderson, the 28-year-old. Native of Las Vegas. Big star at the University of Oregon. And that's upstairs. One of the keys, and this goes for every pitcher, but particularly for Anderson, you and I were talking about this morning during breakfast. He's got to limit the walks.
Well, he had only 3 walks in the month of August. I mean, in the month of July.
This is going to be a long run for Nolan, and he will not have to play.
Let me correct myself. Through the month of July for Tyler Anderson, he was 1-0 with a 2.16, and most of those runs came in the 7th inning of a game against the St. Louis Cardinals. Otherwise, he would have had a sub-2, and I would have made the argument that he should be pitcher of the month in July, but the control stats for him in August are far different. He's been missing the middle portion of the plate too often.
This ball's hit to deep right, and it is off the top of the wall. Cargo couldn't reach it. Anderson will stop at second.
The Subaru Super Mode, it's a cut fastball. He wants it inside. It leaks back over. Carpenter catches this out in front, but off the end of the bat, otherwise it's a 1-0 game.
Good effort by Cargo. He just couldn't get up to the elevation he needed to. It hit a couple of feet above his glove. So that'll bring up Molina. He's also been in a bit of a slump, 3 for 32, but he's really adept at staying inside the baseball. He tried to do it there and ends up swinging and missing. Probably a more accurate portrayal of where Anderson is at times, not necessarily the walks, but being wild inside the zone. And there's a ball toward right. It is drifting toward the line, foul. Here's the Rockies defensively, and it begins in left field. Do you know that Matt's making his 682nd start in left field? That's more than any other left fielder in Rockies history. It's been a few years, though, a decade. David Dahl's in center. Charlie's getting the first part of the afternoon off. Cargo is in right. And then in the infield, it's Arenado, Story, LeMahieu, Desmond with Iannetta doing the catching. Here's the 0-2. And a ground ball left side. So a good job by Anderson. No advancement from Carpenter as he gets Molina 6-3. And that'll bring up Jose Martinez. That's right. Matt's made 682 starts in left field. Next on the list is Dante Bichette at 539. Here's the list. Cargo, who's playing a lot of left field. He's played a lot of right field. And how about Gerardo Parra? So maybe even more fascinating is where Matt is in St. Louis history. A longer history than Colorado's. Matt's third all-time in starts in left field with the Cardinals with 915. Two guesses. Don't put the graphic up yet. We want to see. We're going to test Billy's baseball knowledge. Who's ahead of him?
In left field for the
Cardinals? In left field all time for the Cardinals.
Willie McGee? Vince Coleman?
No, Vince. You know, no. Vince is a good guess, though. I'm going to tell you that much. Think one of the all-time Cardinals. Hall of Famer.
There's so many.
Played with Frazier. Kind of helped Frazier out as a rookie.
Oh my gosh, it's Lou Brock.
Lou Brock, that a baby. All right, we'll put up the list now. Joe Ducky Medwick is second, and then Matt Holliday. Wow. Stan the Man is fourth. How about that list? 0-2 on Martinez, and he's gone. 2 outs. I love that. Think of how good you've been if you're Matt Holliday, where you're #1 all-time games played at a position for one franchise, and you're #3 for another franchise who's been around for more than a century. That's pretty good stuff.
It's great stuff. And I'll tell you what, when Matt first started off in left field, he was a former infielder. He was a third baseman by trade.
Good change of speed. 0-1 on Tyler O'Neill.
And Matt spent a lot of time working with different outfield instructors. Davey Collins, a former Cincinnati Red, was also an outfield instructor with the Rockies for a bunch of years. He worked night and day with Matt and transformed Matt into a solid left fielder.
That's down low, 1-1. And I think now, and Matt throughout his career has always played more on the deep side. And if you haven't been out there much, it's a safer proposition, isn't it, Spilly, to play deeper?
It's safer, yes, because you have more angles that you can cover. If you can play shallow, you take away more hits, but you have to trust your ability to go back. I prefer when outfielders play as shallow as possible, that they're comfortable with.
But if you're Matt Holliday right now, you're 38. You haven't been out there much certainly in the last calendar year because you've been out.
And a lot of analytics are rewarding outfielders for playing deeper because in the eyes of analytics, if you take away extra base hits, it's worth more.
Good pickup by Chris Iannetta. With the dugout saying the same thing. 2-1.
Well, Mr. Duck on the back of his jersey, if you're not familiar with Tyler Anderson, he's a huge huge University of Oregon fan. He played at where he went to college, so he's representing the Ducks today.
2-1 on O'Neal. Keep in mind, when he went from Las Vegas to Oregon, that was right when they resurrected their baseball program. So he was in the first class of new Ducks on the baseball diamond.
Tyler Anderson is probably the biggest Nike fan in the Rockies clubhouse.
Another good changeup, 3-2.
That's the pitch for Tyler. It has to stay down. Now he can elevate the fastball off of it. Changeup, circle change, a little fading action to it. He sells it with the arm speed.
I think he sells it with the Monica Seles grunt also. 3-2, 2 outs in the first. Carpenter is at second. And this ball's in the air, left center field, well hit. Holiday hoping for a play, will not have one. 2-run home run, Tyler O'Neal. And that has been an issue for Tyler throughout the year, even when he was throwing the ball exceptionally well. The home run, that's 27 home runs allowed, which is the most in the National League.
Looks like another changeup, and O'Neal catches it. 11 of the 27 home runs Anderson has given up come in the first inning.
So a quick start for the Cardinals. They're up 2-0. Here's the 0-1 on Paul DeYoung, and that's a base hit. That'll bring up Jed Jerko. Well, for the Andersons, there've been some home runs hit.
Yeah, it's not a list you want to be on right now.
Jerko's always had plenty of pop. He's got 11 home runs. In St. Louis, he had a home run against the Rockies. Takes a home run hack there at a fastball up in the zone. It's 0-1. If you're looking for ground balls, and I know in the inning he got Molina on a ground ball, Anderson is a fly ball pitcher. He does not get a ton of ground balls, and usually you think fly ball pitcher, Coors Field, not a good mix. But if you stay off the barrel, he's able to do that frequently with the changeup. You get, you know, playable fly balls, if you will. Obviously, the one O'Neal hit was not playable. There's the breakdown. He actually has one of the lowest ground ball rates in the league, third lowest in the National League. Even though the Rockies, Billy, have made a transition the last couple of years to more power arms, away from the sinker slider philosophy, if you will, that existed when you were a Rocky, the Rockies' ground ball rate overall is still quite high, which is a good thing given the kind of defense they play in the infield.
It's nice to have a mix of pitchers that change an approach for a hitter. You can't always have ground ball, sinker ball pitchers. You need to have the mix. You need to have the high velocity, high strike pitcher to go with somebody that lives at the bottom of the zone. You don't want everybody to look the same.
And Jerko pulls a base hit. And unfortunately, right now, this looks similar to what happened with him against San Diego. The Padres, who are not as gifted an offensive unit as St. Louis, they produced 10 hits against him, and that's now the 4th hit here in the first, and Steve Foster is going to come out.
It's just location for Tyler. It keeps all of his pitches right now keep working itself to the middle portion of the plate. And with the elevation being up, it's good hitting. Cardinals on the season against lefties, they're 23 and 15. And as a group, about 13th best in baseball as far as batting average goes against left-handers, 253 batting average.
So now 2 on and 2 outs. You know, a couple moments ago, Anderson was a strike away from getting out of the inning unblemished. And that is fair. And now he's going to give up a crooked number. Coming home is DeYoung. Jerko is going to get a stop sign at third on a double by Harrison Bader. 3-0 St. Louis.
Bader comes into today hitting 326 against lefties. Again, this pitch is up middle portion of the plate. Wants to get that baseball underneath the hands of Bader.
Balls are being hit hard. And the walk Munoz, which makes sense, because now the pitcher will come up as the Cardinals have hit around here in the first inning. Oh, and 1 on Austin Gomber. You're talking about the ground ball rate. The Rockies' ground ball rate of 46.1% of balls put in play is second best in Major League Baseball, or second most. 1-1. So Billy, think back to the start in St. Louis, where Anderson pitched 6 beautiful innings. Remember, he goes out for the 7th. He couldn't have pitched better the first 6. And for some reason, in the 7th, he walked the first 3 guys out of nowhere, it seemed like.
He just lost feel for his pitches.
Since that time, it's kind of been a rough go.
It's been very rough.
He had 1 good start in there against the Dodgers, 6 innings of 1-run baseball, but the other 3, and now the start of this one, have not been pretty. Gomber stays alive. I don't know if it's coincidental or if there was something to that, because he was rolling in St. Louis that day.
He was rolling through the month of July. That's what I was saying. He had a sub-2 ERA before that 7th inning in St. Louis for the whole month.
Yeah.
It would have been the lowest in the National League.
This is a huge chopper. Gomber's running hard, and you're not going to have a play. Trying to come home with another run, and is safe is Bader, and it's 5-0.
That is a 2 RBI infield single. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Bader, over the last 2 nights, we've seen how aggressive he is as a base runner, and he gets rewarded. Why not?
Well, this is reminiscent now of Friday night when the Rockies fell behind early 7-0. First 2 career RBIs for Gomber, and here's Carpenter again. 1-0. You may have to get somebody up, and they are. The Rockies have gotten Chad Bettis up.
Yeah, I don't think you'll ever see an infield single that'll score 2 RBIs. I don't think you'll ever see that.
There's got to be concern, legitimate concern, because so everybody's going to have a bad start. You may even have a couple of bad starts, but now what's gone on with Anderson for 4 out of 5 has to raise some red flags with Buddy Black. That misses, 2-1, and then with Senzatella, his last one wasn't great, coming off the disabled list. His first one was solid. Of course, the strength of this team has been their rotation. Go back to that start at Busch Stadium. Tyler now a 9.88 ERA, including what's gone on here in the first inning since that ball game on July 30th. And again, he was 1 pitch away from getting out of it with Tyler O'Neill at the plate. Two and 2 on Carpenter. Carpenter pulls this, and this is going to drop. That'll bring home Munoz. Gomber to third. Carpenter second with a double. It is 6-0 St. Louis. This is starting to look like the Rockies' 8th yesterday.
All of the damage with 2 outs. Change up in the zone.
That'll be all. A tough day for Tyler Anderson. He's gone after recording 2 outs. On 7 hits, 2 in scoring position. Yadier Molina at the plate, and that's the shortest outing by a Rockies pitcher this year. Anderson gone after 2/3, and now Chad Bettis will try to get Molina. This is the second appearance out of the bullpen for Chad after being removed from the rotation. His last start actually in the rotation was a great one. Well, I think the crowd shocked. We're shocked. And makes you think of that old line about baseball momentum is next day's starting pitcher.
That's
and
right.
Unfortunately, Tyler had a really rough outing. Long way to go in this one, considering the Rockies haven't had a turn at the plate yet.
Oh yeah.
But you got to get to the dugout. 6 runs, the biggest Cardinal first inning of the year. 2-1.
This is basically like touchdown scored on the kickoff, opening kickoff. Plenty of game left though, Drew. 27 outs. Sunday's a taco day too.
Yep, 6 runs, 7 hits for the Cardinals. The first inning, they're down 6-0. DJ's going to lead things off. Southwest batting order today against the lefty Austin Gomber. Cargo's going to hit in the 2-hole for the first time in a long time. He's coming in at 290, had 3 hits last night, including a pair of doubles. Nolan will bat 3rd, then Story. Holiday will bat 5th. It'll be Ian Desmond, David Dahl, Chris Iannetta, and Chad Bettis, obviously, right now, is in the pitcher's spot. Gomber's made 5 starts this year, and his team has won all 5 of his starts.
He has excellent stuff. Is another lefty for the Cardinals. High velocity, 93 miles an hour. Loves his curveball. And I think when you're watching Gomber, we saw him in a relief appearance against the Rockies in St. Louis before he went back to the starting rotation where he is most comfortable. The 92 games he pitched in the minor leagues, 91 of those came as a starter. Rockies are the 2nd best in baseball against lefties, 273 batting average. Only the Houston Astros hit better.
Austin Gomber is a 24-year-old out of Winter Garden, Florida. And his first pitch is in there for a strike on DJ. LeMahieu in the ball game yesterday threw out a couple hits, also a walk in that game. In fact, he was 2 for 2 in that 8th inning. Rockies sent 14 to the plate in the 8th. They had 10 hits. Can't change your approach. How did it affect you on those rare occasions where something like this occurred, Spilly, and you come into the dugout and you're behind by a big number?
You just have to play the game. You can't really worry about the scoreboard at that point. With a huge crooked number against you, take your at-bats. The way you look at it, he's trying to score a run an inning.
DJ went 1 out. Here's the Cardinals defensively. Paul DeYoung is back in there at shortstop, and at second base is Jairo Munoz. Remember, Colton Wong injured his hamstring yesterday. They haven't made a move yet. That's how they'll line up the middle. Jericho at third. Matt Carpenter is at first. Of course, Carpenter started yesterday at third base, with Matt Adams getting the start at first. Thought the biggest hit last night was Cargo's double. 1-1 game. DJ had the leadoff hit, and then Cargo on the very next pitch hit one of those Cargo 1-irons to left center field to bring home DJ, give the Rockies the lead. Little did we know that the Rockies would hit for 32 minutes. Set all kinds of records in that 8th inning. These seasonal records. They had 8 runs, biggest inning of the year, 10 hits, matched a club record with 5 doubles in the inning. One, two. It's the 4th time in club history they've produced double-digit hits in an inning. The last time came in May of 2016 in San Francisco. It's beginning to rain. I think it's one cloud that's hanging out over the stadium right now. Cargo's gone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gomber.
For the Win is brought to you by Pizza Ranch. First things first. So for the Rockies, trying to maintain that first place lead. The last time they were in sole possession of first place was June the 1st of this year. Get a chance to take a look at the standings. Looks fantastic with the Rockies on top, 71-58, tied with the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks losing a heartbreaker last night.
And that is foul. Watch that ball game. Denard Span hit a ball into the pool to give the Mariners the lead late. At the clubhouse at that point in time. There was a number of guys, as Nolan lines out, Nolan being one of them, that were watching that game very closely. You're wondering if players are following it. They absolutely are. 6-0 as we go to the second. Cardinals. '18 Toyota Tundra in your hometown Toyota stores, and by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Final day of Players Weekend. That's, of course, the jersey of Sungwon Oh. That's Brian Shaw's jersey. He fixes computers. Anybody have a computer issue, you go to Brian Shaw, and thus the nickname Geek. And for Chad Bettis, lettuce. Bettis got the final out of the first inning after Tyler Anderson had the shortest outing of his career. And now the first pitch strike to Jose Martinez. Martinez struck out for the second out in the first against Anderson. Carpenter was standing at second and got ahead of O'Neill 1-2. And then on a 2-2 pitch, tried to go back-to-back changeups against O'Neill, and he hit a ball out for a 2-0 lead. And then it went single, double, intentional walk, and then the chopper off the plate, an infield hit from Gomber, the pitcher that actually scored 2 because of the hustle of Harrison Bader. And Carpenter threw out his second double of the inning. And that was all for Tyler Anderson. Boy, he had such a great feeling after last night, the elation, the bounce in everybody's step. Coming to the ballpark today, now you really are going to have to grind away. And you're going to need a bunch of zeros put up by Chad Bettis. Sharply hit. DJ's there. We'll wait for Ian Desmond. 1 out. Hey fans, join in on the conversation. Send us your questions. Use Twitter. Include the hashtag Toyota Talk. One out, and Chad will face Tyler O'Neill.
What's amazing looking at Tyler O'Neill, we know he's very well put together. You just don't picture the type of power from his swing. This ball's driven to center field too.
Dog got a good read on it. They'll make the catch.
But Tyler O'Neill, between AAA and the big leagues this season, 32 home runs.
Talked about the fact that his dad at one point was a powerlifting champ in Canada.
He was Mr. Canada. I've actually seen a picture with him and Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's amazing.
His kid likes the weight room also. Paul DeYoung, 2 outs. Inside corner, not called a strike. 1-0. Home plate umpires Lance Barrett. Tony Randazzo is at first. Brian O'Nora at second. Corey Blazer at third. Good group. Last night the Cardinals fell, of course, 9-1. They did not hit a home run, and that snapped a streak of 16 straight for Mike Schilt, in which the Cardinals did hit a home run, which was tied for the longest stretch in baseball this year with the Reds. Excuse me, I said the Reds, with Philadelphia. DeYoung, a power hitting shortstop. He's got 14 home runs this year. Got national attention last year for hitting the long ball. Matt Holliday is going to get an opportunity here in left. And Matt will be coming up when we come back. Rockies trailing by 6. of the first inning, in which St. Louis scored 6 times against Tyler Anderson. And we go to the bottom of the second inning. The Rockies retired in order in the first by Austin Gomber. Trevor Story, Matt Holliday, Ian Desmond. Trevor had the distinction last night of making 2 of the 3 outs in that 8th inning. And you know, when you score 8, you win 9-1, you're going to take a little bit of ribbing.
Somebody has to make the outs.
1 ball, 1 strike. Remember a game last year where the Rockies had a huge inning, and same type of situation befell Mark Reynolds, not in the inning, but you know, the Rockies had like 20 hits. This ball swatted in the air to fairly deep left field, but it's playable out there for O'Neill. And Mark Reynolds went 0 for 5. And that's exactly what he said on the way out of the clubhouse. He goes, hey, we'd still be playing if I didn't make some outs.
Exactly. Yeah, I've heard times. It's one of my favorite stories ever. Here's Matt Holliday again, getting the great ovation.
Well, it was cool last night. There are a bunch of people still standing, and yesterday went on for about 30-40 seconds. Same thing on Thursday when he made his debut back in Colorado against the Padres. Second pitch last night. I'd ever forget that. And you know, you have these seminal moments in years where you're making a charge toward the postseason. Here's the 0-1. You provided one in 2009 with that grand slam Spilly against the Giants. Todd Helton provided one with the home run after Matt Holliday had singled against the Dodgers in 07 against Saito. There's another base hit. That's 3 straight hits for Holliday. And he's now 3 for 6 since coming back. Boy, he stayed inside this, didn't he?
He's a professional hitter. It's a fastball out over the plate. Keeps his hands in nice. Love the leg kick. Body's connected. Also helps when you're 6'4", 240 pounds.
Yeah,
because he can muscle a baseball through the infield.
This ball is muscled to left center field. Matt's going to go at least to third here. And Desi is going to go to second. Ball bobbled out there. Holliday's going to come around. No throw on him. No throw on Desmond. And the Rockies are on the board 6-1. Getting the counter punch in quickly.
You love seeing the quick strike offense. More importantly, it's quality at bat, not give up. And with Stu Cole, the Rockies' third base coach, keeping his head up. Bader basically plays this into that run. Almost trying to do too much. Holliday picks up Stu Cole, sees him.
So Matt Holliday involved again. Now David Dahl with 1 out. Get out of play. Dahl unable to get the run home. And if they pitch to Iannetta, see if Chris could come through. Going back very quickly to the thought on the home run last night by Holliday. It would have been amazing if the game ended 1-0. As it turned out, it turns into a 9-1 game. But I don't think, Spilly, it lessens the importance, the impact of what Matt did last night going forward.
There's very few teams in baseball in 2018 that have a bat off the bench. You know, he's going to start against lefties, but when he's not starting, to have that weapon.
This will be a big week for Matt because he's going to DH, one would assume, the next couple of days in Anaheim. And then in San Diego, after an off day, 2 foul balls, you're going to get at least 2 left-handers in the Padre rotation. The Padres have 3 currently in their rotation who throw from the left side. So you're going to see a lot of Matt Holliday this week. Two strikes on Iannetta. That would be huge if Chris can pick up David Dahl here.
Yeah, that would be huge. That's not a great at bat from David Dahl. You want to see that baseball in play at least to score that run for Ian Desmond. So again, it changes the complexion of the game.
You got the perfect guy on third. You don't need a deep fly ball. Obviously, before the second out occurred, you don't need, you know, something dramatic. You got plus speed. You got a guy that is a very aggressive base runner. 2-2. Gobber here at 3-2. I'd be shocked if he throws a strike. He has Chad Bettis on deck. He did not. So Iannetta walks. See if Chad can do what Gobber did. Somehow get the ball in play and have it produce a knock. 2 outs as Bettis comes up. When the Rockies score 7 or more as they did last night, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. Outside. That's up 2-0.
Gomber did come into today's game with a fairly high walk rate. Granted, it's only 4 starts for Austin Gomber, but it was close to a 5. And we know at Coors Field, walks will come back to bite you.
2-1. Chad taking the whole way there. Three and 1. Now you got to take another strike, don't you?
You have to. Give DJ a chance to come up to the plate. You understand a pitcher is going to throw a strike right here.
Chad was swinging. 3-2. Iannetta at first, Desmond at third, a run in the Rockies second. Good job by Bettis. Competing.
Well, and if anything, it's adding to the pitch count for Austin Gomber. 3 pitches now.
Strike 3. Right on the outside corner. Chad, that would be called ball 4. It was not. Rockies get a run. Holliday a base hit. Desmond an extra base hit.
on the mound. And as we have mentioned throughout Players Weekend, players have a chance to honor those that they play for with a patch on their sleeve. And for Chad Bettis, it's K+E, which stands for Krista plus Everly, his wife and daughter, who have been with him through so much. And he had the chance to talk about what it means that he is able to honor them.
You know, I can't say enough. You know, I mean, for everything that they've stood for and are my rock. You know, I think it's big to represent them.
His rock, especially through battling cancer, his 1-year anniversary of that comeback just last week. So really is special for him to be able to honor them this weekend, guys.
Yeah, I love that patch. I love the personal message that guys can write on their sleeve. Impossible not to be a huge fan of Chad Bettis. Curveball's in there, strike one on Jed Jerko. Morgantown, West Virginia. You ever been to Morgantown?
I have not.
South of Pittsburgh, home of the Mountaineers. This is lobbed into shallow left. It's going to be tough for Matt to get there. They'll field it on hot. Now Jerko's going to move up as it got by Holiday. It'll be a single and an E7.
A big swing. Holiday doesn't quite read it off the bat well. And as he gets closer, you get that in-between hop and misplays it. And the Subaru Supermo. So you take his eye off the baseball to see where the base runner was, and that was all you need to do to make an error.
That'll bring up Harrison Bader, and he bunts it in the air, but Iannetta trying to steal it out, could not. And honestly, I think that play, which was a high risk, low reward probably type of play, was dictated by the scoreboard right now.
Well, knowing how well Bader runs, and this is the Rockies just trying to keep it close. Otherwise, you would just throw the baseball towards first base. I think if Nolan Fields is clean, I don't think he was expecting Iannetta to make that play. It might have been close.
They score that a sacrifice and an, I don't know what you'd call it, probably a sacrifice fielder's choice. You can't give anybody an error because the tag was trying to be whipped on. I would just call it personally a sacrifice fielder's choice. We have not heard officially. First and third, Munoz at the plate. But I'm thinking if this is a one-run game early in the game, Chris probably wouldn't take that gamble. Fouled off. Now they have given an error to Chris Iannetta. I just think it was on the decision, which is a fielder's choice. I don't think he didn't throw it in the dirt. This is up the middle. This is going to turn into a double play. Safe. We're going to take a look at that. Desmond looking in the dugout.
Oh, we've been told multiple times.
Munoz runs well.
Munoz runs well. A little bit out in front.
The run scores no matter what.
It's pretty close.
And the Rockies will not challenge. So it's an RBI for Munoz, 1 out, and 7-1 Cardinals. 1-0 on Gomber. Gomber got his first 2 career ribbies when he bounced one off the plate. And the ball went about 40 feet high, and when DJ finally could catch the baseball, he had no play. Gomber, to his credit, because it would have been the 3rd out, hustled up the line, realizing there was a good chance he could reach, and it produced 2 runs on an infield hit.
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw somebody square up a baseball directly into home plate where it popped up as high as it did, and then for that to be an RBI, 2 RBI single. I just don't think I've ever seen that.
Two and 1 to count on Gomber out of Florida Atlantic University. Gomber got his first big league start in late July in Cincinnati, and he took a no-hitter into the 7th inning. You know the story, Huey? Or Billy?
No, what happened?
He takes a no-hitter into the 7th inning, and a fire alarm goes off at Great American Ballpark. It was a false alarm, but it took 7 minutes to realize that and get the players back ready to play. And immediately after that, he's facing Joey Votto, and Votto lines a single. Now, he may have gotten a hit anyway, but he could tell that story. He said it threw off my rhythm, my tempo. I was rolling. I was going to throw a no-hitter in my first career start. So he had to settle for 6 1/3 no-hit innings. Two and 2. Cardinals actually eventually won that game in extra innings on a 2-run home run by Dexter Fowler. And if you're wondering, you didn't hear us talk about this Friday, Dexter fouled a ball off his foot recently, broke his foot, so he's on the disabled list. And their big off-season acquisition is on the disabled list as well in Marcell Ozuna. The shoulder issue. DJ handles a throw from Nolan. 2 outs as Munoz goes to second on the sac bunt.
Spend Labor Day at the ballpark with the Giants coming to town for an afternoon game on Monday, September 3rd. Purchase your tickets at any Rockies outlet.
Two Texas kids going at one another right now. Chad out of Lubbock, Texas. Matt Carpenter from Prosper, Texas. Carpenter in the first inning, a pair of doubles. 11 went to the plate in the first inning for St. Louis. They scored 6 runs.
Cardinals have been crediting Matt Carpenter's salsa to the hot month of August that they've been having, 18-5.
Calls it Salsa Power, and they made up some t-shirts that say it's got to be the salsa, and the proceeds are going to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital.
Now the great story about that is Adam Wainwright is a green thumb. He loves to garden, and Matt Carpenter came up to Adam Wainwright, who has his own garden in his home state, and asked him, hey, I want to build a garden. So it was Adam Wainwright that made a garden for Matt Carpenter in St. Louis, and it's from that garden that Carp has been making his salsa from.
As the story goes, Wainwright basically broke into Carpenter's house, and next thing you know, he's in the backyard putting a garden together. Two-one. Good curveball, 2-2. Let's see, I get along with Carpenter. You know that's my weakness, right? We're every late night, chips and salsa.
I want to try a salsa.
Got it. Maybe we may lose you out of the booth. You may make a comeback.
What's in that salsa?
What's in that salsa? 2-2. Fouled off.
Guys, funny story about that, Spilly. So Matt Adams, who just got moved over from the Nationals, they were playing each other about a week ago, and he went up to Carpenter because the two had known each other and said, hey, I want some of that salsa, as a lot of people do. And Carpenter said, absolutely not. It's secret, and only people on this team can have some. Well, then Adams comes over, so now he's allowed to have some salsa. Spilly, I don't think you're going to be allowed to have any.
This is going to get through and drive in another run. Carpenter had been slumping coming in. He's trying to stretch this to a double, and he will. He's got 3 doubles today. And it is 8-1 St. Louis as Munoz scores.
Looks like a two-seam fastball that Carpenter gets again off the end of the bat. But finds a hole. Yeah, it's got to be the salsa. And he's eating salsa.
Yadier Molina's 0 for 2. Yeah, disappointing because the Rockies threw out a run, had a chance for another run, obviously, in that second inning. And the Cardinals have scored 2 here in the third. Three doubles, first time in Matt Carpenter's history or career he's had 3 doubles. Of course, in July at Wrigley Field he had a game he'll never forget. He had a 3-homer, 2-double game. That's a pretty good day. 0-1 on Yachty, that's fouled off. It's happened 24 times this year that a player's produced 3 doubles in a game. Cargo had a 3-double game earlier this year for the Rockies. Carpenter, the first Cardinal to have a 3-double game in 2018. 8 runs, 9 hits for St. Louis. And that's going to score another run. That ball literally hit the second base bag as Carpenter scores, and it's 9-1.
The Rockies have basically given the Cardinals a couple extra opportunities this inning, and they've taken full advantage. Line drive off second base.
Strikeout and a ground ball to second for Martinez. Have not been many games like this where the Rockies have fallen behind by a large number. You know, they've given up a bunch of runs in the first inning this year, more than any team in baseball, but you know, it's 1 or 2, and typically the Rockies have come back because been one of the best in baseball at coming from behind. They have a mountain to climb today. Down 9-1 after the Rockies won 9-1 yesterday, and they limited the Cardinals to 5 hits. The Cards have 10 hits here as they bat in the third inning with 2 outs.
Well, it's been 8 2-out runs scored on the day today.
Two and two.
Anytime you score any sort of run with 2 outs, those are momentum shifts. They're the ones that make your clubhouse feel good. When you have 8 of them in the first 3 innings.
That's 3 and 2. Chad nodding at Ian Desmond, and reminding them that he's going to move behind Yadier Molina at first with a 3-2 count. And that's down the left field line. Molina is going to get a green light from Jose Kendo. He'll score easily. A double by Martinez, and it's 10-1 St. Louis.
Curveball up in the zone. Martinez pulls his hands off the end of the bat. Sinks right past Nolan. Rattles around in the corner. Molina scores from first. That's 9 2-out runs today.
Tyler O'Neill, 2-run home run, line drive to fairly deep center field. Fastball's off the plate, ball 1 at 92. They're helping out the senior statesman cool off. It's a long run for Yachty. 1-0, and O'Neill swings and misses.
A game like this could put a real strain on the Rockies bullpen as they try to figure out how to navigate the rest of the evening, of the afternoon. Chad's not stretched out like he was. You can't ask him to go out there and give you 75 to 90 pitches. If he's ineffective, it makes it even harder.
Well, Chris Russell would be the next most likely guy to kind of work the long haul. 3-2, and if you're thinking like so many teams now are doing, throwing a position player, if it gets, it's ugly right now, but I mean it's still the 3rd inning. But if you're talking about the 6th inning, you're down still by a big number, 7th inning. Buddy Black is loath to do that. He really does not like the optics of putting a position player in there. The Rockies will play 2 in Anaheim before their next off day. That's Wednesday. That's strike 3. Tough inning. 4 come in for St. Louis. There were 4 hits. There were a couple of errors as well. mobile. Since July 4th, the Rockies have hit 13 go-ahead home runs in the 7th inning or later. Remember, for a good portion of this year, the Rockies struggled 7th inning or later offensively. In those 13 games, they're 12-1. They've had 4 walk-off home runs as well. Back on offense here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's the top of the order again. DJ LeMahieu, and DJ hits this ball to right field, and it is going to go off the scoreboard. And Martinez fortunately dropped it because he fielded it initially so quickly. He may have had an opportunity on DJ. Instead, it's an easy double for LeMahieu.
Off the bat, it was over Martinez's head. He kept trying to make a play on it. Just like Holiday last inning, he took his eye off the baseball for a second and missed him.
Cargo struck out his first time against Gomber. Gomber out of the pen got a win against the Rockies in that series at Busch Stadium, in which the Cardinals kept winning games in the 9th inning. Cardinals took 3 out of 4. Cardinals won Friday night. The Rockies, of course, won last night by that huge 8th inning. Propelled by the home run initially by Matt Holliday to make it 1-0. Clear ball for a strike. The Rockies have not defeated the Cardinals, though, in a season series since 2009, when Ryan Spilborghs still was putting the uniform on.
I didn't play much that 2009 series against the Cardinals. That's probably why they won.
Had to be. The Rockies will not win this season series, even if they come back in this one today, because Cardinals are up 4-2. Off the plate, good take, 2-1. Cargo hitting in the 2 spot in the lineup for the 3rd time in 3 years. He did it once last year. He did it once in 2016. Three and 1. Three balls, 2 strikes. DJ a leadoff double. Fastball's fouled back.
We always talk about how the scoreboard dictates how pitches are going to be made. Gomber's just going to throw fastballs and challenge Rockies hitters, and that's what he did to Cargo.
4 strikeouts. He's got Gonzalez twice. That'll bring up Arenado. Lined out to 3rd. Back in the 1st inning. Nolan has maintained a .400 average or better this year against left-handed pitching. He's right at .400 right now. Best in baseball against lefties. First in home runs hit as well against lefties with 14. And that'll add to that total. At least in terms of batting average, DJ will have to stop at third. It was hit so hard toward O'Neill. Rockies down 10-1. First and third, one out, and that'll bring up Story.
Well, the Rockies are going to get some hits against Gomber today. 272 batting average against lefties. Nolan the best, as Drew mentioned, in baseball against hitting lefties. Just hoping for a big extra base hit at some point when the Rockies get traffic.
Ball one on Trevor. That's a ball that skips off the ground. They'll still get an out. Trevor will get an RBI as Munoz, we thought he may be able to catch that in the air. Nolan had to wait. We get the force at second, 2 outs. The Rockies have their second run. Trevor's 85th RBI.
Munoz almost makes a great play in between hop because it was off the end of the bat for Trevor Story. Nolan was forced to read that. Stayed close to first base.
So here's Matt Holliday again. Matt lined a single in the second inning to right, would score moments later on a Desmond double. Desmond didn't get an RBI. The ball was not picked up cleanly at the wall by Harrison Bader. They gave him an error.
Here's the home run from last night. StatCast AI is powered by AWS. 101 miles an hour off the bat. 448 feet. Amazing emotional moment for Matt, for his family, for his teammates.
And his entire family's here, which is really cool. His dad's here, his brother, we talked about Josh being here. Leslie and all their kids are here. They're going to be traveling to the West Coast with Matt and the Rockies.
They left last night. They had to go back to Jupiter, a lot of them. School started.
So Matt will soak up that evening for a long time. That's as many great memories as he's created. That's a night he won't forget. 2-2 here. Outside, 3-2. Looks comfortable at the plate, most importantly. Swings and misses to end the inning. The Rockies do get a run. LeMahieu scores it after leading the inning off with a double. 10-2. Sportsnet RM to cast your vote. So who would you most like to have Sunday brunch with? Chuck Nasty, Buddy Black, Gerardo Parra, Matt Holliday. There's a lot of guys on that Rockies, in that Rockies clubhouse that you'd be entertained and enjoy having a meal with. See, I'm out on Chuck. Here's why. Because what if he gets food in the beard, and then you have that awkward moment where you want to tell him he's got food in the beard, but you know.
Just don't let him order a breakfast sandwich. A runny egg breakfast sandwich, like, out. Nope.
Yeah. Oh,
pancakes, okay. Omelet, fine.
Fruit.
Fruit, good.
This is Yang foul. Otherwise, we're out on you, Chuck. We're not having brunch with you. Not that you may want to have brunch with us, but
that's right.
It's our decision. Gerardo be hysterical, right?
Gerardo be great.
Anthony, Troy is always a popular choice, but Parra would be entertaining. You're right. Oh, you know, last night there's brunch in the Mountain Ranch Club. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, Spilly. That's okay there.
It's still Sunday. It's still the weekend.
That's right. Last night I said to Nolan in the clubhouse, I said, dude, you got to coach up Matt, your buddy. He said, on what? I said, that after you hit a home run, the last guy in the receiving line is Gerardo. And Matt, you know, kind of gave him the high five. He didn't realize that he's got to get the bear hug.
Yeah, you got to give the hug from Gerardo at the end.
That's part of it. Three and two on Paul DeYoung. Now, you went to Cleveland after the Rockies, and then you went on to Texas, and unfortunately didn't return to the big leagues. But if you do go to a new club, there are certain traditions, seasonal traditions, that you got to get up to speed on really quickly, right?
There was one in Japan that I didn't realize happened either. In Japan, they hand you a stuffed animal. Strike out DeYoung. They hand you basically the team's mascot as a stuffed animal. And then you come walking through the dugout, you give all your teammates a high five. And then at the very end, when you get to the end of the dugout, there's a camera. You look into the camera and you show the mascot. Or you look to the cheering section, which is different in every single Japanese stadium. But usually it's left field or right field. And then you kind of show the mascot to the fans like it's the Lion King, and they all go crazy.
Oh, really? So it's not quite the Alex Bregman in Houston where you just mug for the camera.
I like that one, though. And on one occasion that I hit the home run, I think I offended a lot of people because I kissed that mascot stuffed animal.
Not supposed to do that.
No, you're not supposed to kiss it. Open mouth kiss to the mascot stuffed animal.
Dude, you know what? TMI, dude. Fly ball center field. Dahl will make the catch. So here's what happened last night. Matt hits, you know, the goosebump home run, and there is Parra, high five, and he's getting ready for the bear hug, and Matt turns. No bear hug for Gerardo, kind of like a half a bear hug.
Yeah, he's like, you don't know the inside part. Okay, we'll try again next time.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I don't want you to retell that story anytime soon, by the way, with the stuffed animal. Okay?
It's a great story. I think there might be a YouTube video of it out there, but you'd have to learn how to write it in Japanese.
Stuffed animal talk to you the rest of the year?
Yeah, no, it was great. People thought it was funny. I went with the Gone with the Wind type kiss. I mean, it was very romantic for that mascot thing.
1-2. That's upstairs on Bader. An RBI double. Also a fielder's choice. 1 for 2. Three and 2. Chad worked a 1-2-3 second. He got the final out in the first. Again, tough outing for Tyler Anderson. Tyler gave up 6 runs on 7 hits, could get only 2 outs. I haven't said this in a while, Spilly. Thought it a lot. But that last story reminds me of what I often think. And so I might as well say it out loud. What is wrong with you?
A lot.
It's a long list. All right, lie down on the couch in the back of the booth.
Yeah. Talk to the
We'll bring in the
therapist.
resident psychologist. We may bring in 2. Fouled off. Well, the Rockies are having a rough day. They're down 10-2. The Mets in Flushing had a really rough day. They lost 15-0 to the Nationals. Something in the water today. The Cubs up 9-0 in Cincinnati, or at home against Cincinnati. Holiday coming on. Matt will make the catch, and it is a 1-2-3 4th inning for Bettis. 10-2 Cardinals. Sportsnet is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by StubHub. Rockies fans, get your tickets at StubHub, the official partner of the Colorado Rockies. With Ryan Spilboards and Taylor McGregor, I'm Drew Goodman. It is a pretty Sunday other than the scoreboard right now. Rockies trailing 10-2 as they bat here in the 4th inning. It'll be Desmond Dahl and Ionetta against Austin Gomber, 24-year-old from Florida. Desi hits fly ball to O'Neill in left. 1 out. I'll bring up Dahl. He fouled out down the 3rd base line his first time. I don't want to forget what we're not going to forget, but I want to make mention again of what German Marquez did yesterday, because some of it will be overshadowed by certainly Matt's home run and then the 8-run 8th inning. Breaking ball misses, ball 1. German Marquez, who's had a lot of terrific starts, particularly in the last month and a half. He threw 7 innings of shutout baseball. This is the first. Allowed just 3 hits. Struck out 9, walked just 1. And Buddy Black said, and there's a lot to choose from. He said that was probably his best start of the year.
Yeah.
And when you look at the stuff, talking about a guy who has a chance to, head up a rotation. I mean, he has upper echelon stuff, and he's been rolling. I mean, you look at the rotation right now, Spilly. Freeland, his last 10 starts, the club's 9-1. John Gray, last 9 starts, club's 9-0. Marquez, last 10 starts, club is 8-2. Marquez over those 10 starts has a mid-2 ERA. So these three are rolling. I guess now you got some real concern because unfortunately Tyler Anderson, who had been pitching beautiful baseball for a long period of time, you know, his last 4, other than one, have really been tough.
That's the unfortunate part too. Imagine if Tyler Anderson was pitching like he did in July.
That's why the Rockies went 17-6 in July, because everybody was rolling. Strike on Iannetta. Three-two on Chris. Chris Russin's up in the Rockies pitcher's exercise area beyond the right center field wall. And a called strike 3. That'll end the inning. A 1, 2, 3, 4th inning for Gomber. We go to the 5th. The Cardinals are up 10-2.
Honoring his alma mater in North Carolina and his awesome cleats. Check those out. Now, the best part about this story, I asked him, why'd you decide to honor North Carolina? And he goes, honestly, the cleats just showed up at my locker, but I was pretty excited. Look at how cool they are. And he said, anytime I have the chance to honor North Carolina is a great day for me. I absolutely loved my time there, and it helps out that they have pretty sweet colors and awesome cleats there. Drew.
Carolina blue.
Colors the sky.
Did you know, Spilly, that Chris was also recruited to play point guard at North Carolina?
Yeah, right. My wife went to school at...
She went to North Kakalaki.
That's right.
What they call it back there. Chris Russin's in the ball game for the Rockies in the 5th. Chad Bettis goes 3 1/3. Gives up 4 runs, though they were all unearned runs. He allowed 4 hits, struck out a couple. Did not walk a batter. First pitch, a strike on Jairo Munoz. Austin Gomber on deck. Seattle's taken an early lead in the second inning down in Phoenix, 1-0. This ball to the shortstop Story. He's a good player, and that's a good throw. 1 out.
MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $59.99 to watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat, Premium Blackout, and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer.
The great crowd at Coors Field, obviously disappointed by what has transpired thus far, but it's going to be a weekend that sees the Rockies draw in the neighborhood of 130,000 folks. Gotta love it. And there's more good times ahead. It's got a little Bregman in it. It's called mugging. Gomber back to Russin. There's two pitchers for the Rockies that fielding wise, tell me if you concur, that I trust the most on comebackers. Kyle Freeland and Chris Russin.
There you go.
They don't freak.
They don't freak out. The other night I was watching the Arizona Diamondbacks play, and we saw Zach Godley get exposed throwing the baseball.
The hand grenade.
Wow. Do you know what base runners are doing now? When the catcher throws the ball back to Godley.
Jump off an extra 5, 6, 8 feet.
No,
they're
going to the next base.
Is that what's going on right now? I think Godley's throwing today.
No, he threw 2 days ago.
Oh, he did?
Threw against the Mariners. There's a runner at second base.
Oh, it's Greinke today. Excuse me.
It was just a normal throw to the catcher. The guy took off to third. Godley threw it over to third baseman. It's hard to watch.
Put your spikes back on. Here's something I don't understand. Why don't more guys take advantage of John Lester?
I think there's a fear factor because he's left-handed and he's looking right at you. If he was right-handed and he had his back to you and he knew he want to throw over.
He hasn't picked since the Carter administration. What are you worried about? This is stopped by LeMahieu, and they'll get Carpenter finally. He had 3 doubles in his first 3 at-bats. A 1-2-3 inning for Chris Russin. DJ, he has 1 gear. It's all out. Great play. Is going to lead things off. DJ LeMahieu and Cargo to follow. Talked about Chris Russin being a premier fielder from the pitcher spot. He's also one of the better hitting pitchers in the National League. Doesn't get as many opportunities. Get one here. He takes a strike from Gomber. Follow up on that conversation we were having about John Lester. Even though he will not pick to first and has issues throwing the baseball when he fields, only 5 stolen bases against him. That just is illogical to me. You get a leadoff guy on, or there's a guy on with 1 out early in a game. Take off. Take that 20-foot lead. See what happens.
If he wasn't left-handed, I'm telling you, the base runners I've talked to that they get their lead, they just can't do it. It's like talking trash to somebody right to their face. You can't do it. As soon as their back is turned, you can run all day long.
I do understand that it goes against.
He's looking at you.
He's looking at you, and you're taking a lead where you go, I'm picked off.
I'm literally stealing right as you're looking at me. You're watching me pick your pocket.
And there's Russell throwing out a base hit. It begins to rain a little bit again. DJ double and a run scored in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. That's inside. I think this one's going to pass pretty quickly also. It's already slowing down. Two right near the bottom of the zone, called the ball, so it's 2-0. Padres leading the Dodgers 2-0 in the 3rd. 3-0. Began the day in a dead heat atop the National League West with Arizona. Three and one. Rockies have played 6 games out on the road, and the Rockies have turned their season around at home. 34-29 at this juncture. They're still better out on the road record-wise at 37-29. This is too short. And they'll turn into a 6-4-3. Cargo, a couple strikeouts against Gomber so far. Everything's so much better for Cargo this year than last year. One of the more noteworthy areas is his batting average left on left. Last year it was very, very poor. And this year left on left, Cargo's hitting .284.
And for Cargo, everything in his swing is dictated by how much he's rotating while the pitch is coming to him. When he gets rotational, he's not a great hitter. He shortens up the leg kick. His movement goes towards center field. He's as good as they come. He can keep his front shoulder in. His front hip can stay in, stay square.
This ball lined to center field, and leaping and making the catch is Bader. And it's a 1-2-3 inning, despite the fact that Russin had a base hit to start the frame. 10-2, St. Louis. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Drew Goodman, Ryan Spilborgs, Taylor McGregor on AT&T Sportsnet. Rockies having a tough day. Tyler Anderson gave up 6 in the first. Chad Bettis gave up 4 unearned runs in the third. 10-2. Getaway day for the Rockies. Chris Russin's second inning of work. Here's Molina. And he'll pop it up right side. DJ calling for it. That'll bring up Jose Martinez. Double down the left field line, and the third scored a run for Martinez. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. At any point in time, did you umpire? Growing up, make a few extra bucks?
I did that before.
What was your strike call?
I was a ha.
And it's funny because I would think back at, the turn of the 19th century to the 20th century, that, they would bark out strike. But it's evolved or devolved, whichever way you want to look at it, to huh. Or some sort of James Brown grunt. Remember Eddie Murphy said James Brown wrote that stuff. Remember that line? Delirious.
That's one of my favorite stand-ups.
Absolutely. 2-1 on Martinez. And this game has devolved into us talking about Eddie Murphy and Delirious. And
yeah, we're getting close to Delirious. There's been a couple good home plate umpires. Jeff Joyce had a great. He has a real high pitch Steve Raik call. Tim McClellan, who we all remember from
calling the pitch 5 minutes after it crossed home plate.
Well, that's not quite true. His signal was 5 minutes late, but his call was as soon as it crossed the strike zone. And he was kind of a low, gruffy, yep.
Is that what you say? Yep.
Yep.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Martinez. Nope. Nope.
We like umpires. Hitters like umpires that tell you right away, outside, down. It's too high. I'm like, all right.
Ball outside.
Ball outside. Ball down.
Here's the 3-2 to Martinez, and that's a base hit. Dozen hits now for St. Louis.
Drop off any new or gently used children's book at your neighborhood UPS store and receive 2 complimentary Rockies tickets to a select game in September.
Won't be a bad game in September. Guaranteed. Tyler O'Neill, 2-run home run in the first, a line out, and a strikeout since. And he's got himself a hit. Now the shortstop, Paul DeYoung. Everybody in the lineup for the Cardinals, including, well, let me change that. Everybody, including the pitcher, save Jairo Munoz, has a hit. Munoz has been on base a couple times, driven in a run, and scored a run, but he does not have a hit yet. DeYoung's hit came in the first inning, the 6-run first for St. Louis. Arizona's tied up Seattle in the third. There's a fan in the upper deck who just made a nice catch. It was an easy play, but you know, you're still in the upper deck. Good play. And he had a chance earlier in the ball game, had to reach down, and the ball hit the same guy. Ball hit the girder. And fortunately, this guy was smart enough not to reach too far over. And because he was wise that time, the baseball god shined on him, and he got another opportunity. Look at this. Boom, I got it.
Wrong jersey, that's okay.
Well, he's oblivious to where he is, but you know. Sosa retire? Not playing for the Rocks anymore? He's a baseball fan. It's all good.
That's okay, and that's what I say all the time. I don't care who you cheer for as long as you're cheering and you're watching a baseball game.
Now, this is going to be a wild pitch. Kicks away to the backstop. And the runners move up 90 feet. Martinez and O'Neill.
This has not been the Rockies' cleanest baseball game in some time, and you don't want it to get any sloppier.
It's always affected by, you know, if you get that rare tough start and you get behind. It's been so unusual this year. I mean, the Rockies, because their rotation is so good, even in the games they've lost, are in the ball game. Three and 2 on DeYoung. Infield comes in halfway. And that walk will load the bases for Jerko.
This comes back to something we talked about earlier in the game when we were seeing Chad Bettis struggle a little bit. As that pitch count got elevated. What happens if your long reliever and then your second long reliever struggle as well? And it becomes difficult to find those outs to get through the rest of the game. That's what Buddy's looking at when he checks out his card. He looks at how many pitches has his bullpen throw the day before and the day before that. Looking at the score, you're still trying to win a baseball game. You're hoping that the offense throws some crooked numbers up, but you're also considering the worst.
0-2 on Jerko. See if Russell can get a double play ball here. Good flip. Nope. That'll score a run. Story tried the glove flip to DJ. It was going to be tough. That'll go as an infield hit for Jerko, and RBI is 43rd. And it's 11-2 St. Louis. Wasn't hit hard. It was just hitting the right spot.
There's been a couple balls hit by the Cardinals today that just found the right spot. I continue to go back to Austin Gomber's single in the first inning. There's just been some baseballs that have not gone the Rockies' way.
Here's Harrison Bader, 1 for 3. Wow. I just got the official scoring on that. They ruled that a fielder's choice E6 on Story. I don't like that one. Can I go on record as such?
Sure.
Cargo will make the catch, tagging, and coming home is O'Neill with another Cardinal run. Sac fly for Bader.
Here's that apparent Story error for you to look at. Debate at home. Show me where the error is. So you're saying the glove flip, that's the only real logistical play he has, other than making the spin and throw to first. And that was with Jerko running down the line, not the fastest guy on the Cardinals roster, but still not a routine play.
Not a routine play, and that should not be an error. Doesn't matter in terms of the scoreboard. Doesn't matter personally. Story, I'm sure. 12-2.
Late Matt Holliday in the hole, too, who have a relationship. Nolan been very vocal about growing up, how he mimicked his finish off of Matt Holliday. And so we wanted to check it out, see how the two fared. So here's Nolan hitting his home run on Friday, and then Matt Holliday's last night. And you can see both high one-handed finish, their feet positioning very similar, and they both take their head to the ball. So it is very similar. Obviously, Nolan has put his own twist on it, but cool to see that the two are now teammates, guys.
There's no question that Nolan has said that multiple times, that Holiday was his favorite player watching and loving his swing.
And Troy Tulowitzki connected the two of them originally, and they share video, or have shared video, as Bader makes the catch to retire Nolan through the years. Got to know each other at all-star games a little bit, but that was a connection, and they're both, you know, I don't want to call them hitting nerds, but they love the game so much, the science of the game, and appreciate, you know, the technique that it goes into becoming an elite hitter, that they have, you know, compared notes through the years, even if they haven't spent a lot of time like working out together. One out, here's Story.
Well, the other aspect too for Matt Holliday, it wasn't always that way where he drove the baseball with his shoulder and kept his head position where it was. It was a encounter with Mark McGwire back in 2005. It was set up by Mike Gallego, who was teammates with Mark McGwire back in Oakland. So as McGwire comes out in an interleague game against the Anaheim Angels and had a special session with Matt Holliday, and during that time frame, McGwire was showing Holliday how to drive his shoulder through the baseball, his right shoulder. From that point on, we were like, hey, can I get a hitting instruction from Mark McGwire? Nope. Holliday took off, started driving the ball opposite field, started driving the ball to left field. So as much as we talk about Holliday helping Nolan swing, imagine if Mark McGwire never spent any time with Matt Holliday.
Something tells me, and that was very beneficial, something tells me Matt Holliday, the way he works, would have figured it out, as gifted as he is as well. Going back really quickly, because Trevor's at the plate 1 and 2 to that play last inning. An error should be given in the, this is in the rule book, in the judgment of the official score, that with ordinary effort a play could have been made resulting in an out.
So
I wouldn't call that situation, I don't think that required ordinary effort. That required special effort. This is line to left, and O'Neill drops to his knees but makes the catch. 2 outs, and that will bring up the aforementioned Matt Holliday. Well, think about this. It had been a long time since we'd seen Matt Holliday. This was his first career home run against the late Jose Lima back in '04. And this was against Chad Billingsley. We're showing this. That was his last home run in a Rockies uniform till last night. Basically a decade later, and Matt goes deep against John Gant. And the game this afternoon, Holliday started out with a base hit, scored a run in the second, struck out on a 3-2 fastball up and in the third inning. And this is on the ground to short. And Gomber works a 1-2-3 6th inning. To the 7th we go. The Cards up 12-2. Coming up the next couple of days, the Rockies are in Anaheim to see the Angels. They have a pretty good player on their team by the name of Mike Trout. He's a Jersey kid originally. Comparison of their numbers this year, he just came off the DL. Trout went 2 for 4 yesterday. He's batting .314. He's got a 1090 OPS, which leads the American League. And right now, the 975 for Nolan leads the National League. That's going to be fun. Ohtani-san hit a home run yesterday.
He's got 14 home runs.
Yeah. He's not pitching right now. He's got that arm issue, but he's still swinging the bat. McDougal's in there, and Nolan is out of the game. So Ryan McMahon's at third. And on the mound is Brian Shaw. Chris Rustin went 2 innings, gave up a couple runs on a couple of hits. Austin Gomber, his 4th plate appearance. 2-run single on a bouncer off the plate with the bases loaded. He had a sac bunt down. He hit a comebacker. He's behind 0-2.
I just think back to that first inning. There was probably one pitch that Tyler Anderson would love to have back, and that was Tyler O'Neill.
Changeup.
I mean, that changed the complexity of the game. It changed the how he attacked the hitter. The changeup threw a great one the pitch before. And the second one just got away from him, left it in the middle portion of the plate.
Story throws out Gomber. That'll bring up Carpenter. And it just unraveled from that point on. He just could not get an out. Carpenter's had a huge year. First 3 at bats produced doubles.
Nice guy's a good player, Matt Carpenter. I told the story earlier. Through the first 2 months, oh man, it's probably going to be his 4th double of the day.
And you know what? Cardinals been around for a while, Spilly. That is a club record. Ties a club record. Remember, this is unusual. We get 2 Ducky Medwick mentions in the same game. Back in 1937, Medwick had 4 doubles in a game.
Ducky Medwick was the last National League player to win a Triple Crown. Yep. 4 doubles today. He's had some franchise record games in just this season, the second half.
Yadier's 1 for 4.
Here's that pitch to Carpenter. The cutter sits in the middle portion of the plate. When somebody's locked in, when a hitter's locked in, limited head movement. If you miss in the middle portion of the plate with their bat, the way it's locked in because of timing, mechanics, it's going to get hit.
1 ball, 1 strike on Molina.
I wanted to go back. There was a story about the front office talking to Matt Carpenter in May. When Carpenter was struggling and wasn't hitting very well, only had 3 home runs, and the front office told him, you're not swinging at pitches outside the strike zone.
That's a base hit. Carpenter will stop at third.
Your swing is exactly the same way it's always been. Don't change, don't fret. And so he's stuck with his approach, stuck with his mechanics. Nothing changed. And the numbers came. You always say water finds its level, but it's different because oftentimes it's a teammate going, man, you're good, you'll be fine. Look at how many hard line outs you've had. It's also different when it comes from a front office.
Well, good for their front office because, you know, this guy's always hit. First and third, 1 out. Martinez takes ball 1. He has a single and a double today. Ducky Medwick, who went into the Hall of Fame, Joe Medwick, in '68, was a member of the Gas House Gang. That was the '34 World Championship St. Louis Cardinal team. You remember them, Spilly? They have changed that error on Trevor Story. It's now an infield hit, by the way.
There you go.
We lobbied hard, and I feel good. We got a result.
His only legitimate play to get it out was a backhanded flip to second base. Whereas even if he spun and tried to throw him out at first, he wasn't going to get it.
Well, it just goes beyond ordinary effort. This should be 2. Double play, and the Cardinals are done in their half of the 7th. We're going to stick around on this Sunday for a rendition of God Bless America.
Fans, the Colorado Rockies and Furniture Row are proud to host and honor those who sacrifice on behalf of us all. With us on the field today is Navy Career Counselor First Class Kevin Sawyer. Petty Officer Sawyer has been recognized for superior performance on numerous occasions, earning 4 Navy Achievement Medals. His current assignment is with Navy Talent Acquisition Group Rocky Mountain, where he recently assumed responsibilities as the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps Scholarship Coordinator. Petty Officer Sawyer is joined today by his wife Lydia, his daughter Arabelle, and his son Kevin. Furniture Row and Denver Mattress are proud to present Petty Officer Sawyer with a $250 gift certificate in appreciation of his service. Fans, please give a warm hero's welcome to Petty Officer Kevin Sawyer and all our nation's brave servicemen and women and their families. We thank you for your service and sacrifice. To nominate a military hero, visit Rockies.com/military hero. Fans, please rise as we honor our great country with the performance of God Bless America. Performing God Bless America today, representing the United States Air Force Academy Band, is Airman First Class Alex Sauce. Please welcome Airman Sauce and join him by singing along to God Bless America. Fans, remain on your feet for today's Kings
Of the 7th inning, Austin Gomber went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, 5 hits, walked 1, struck out 6, and now the former Padre Tyson Ross will take over. Tyson, longtime Padre and one of Buddy Black's favorites. First pitch misses, ball 1. Desi a double and a fly ball to left field. Look out.
The last time Tyson Ross had thrown was on August the 16th. It's only been a handful of appearances for him with the St. Louis Cardinals. Was claimed off of waivers August the 5th.
And on 4 pitches, Ross walks Desi. Time for our Kubota pitching performance. Gomber had the luxury of being staked to a big lead, 6-0 in the first. They got 4 more runs in the 3rd inning, and he did what he should do with the big lead. He threw a lot of strikes, gave up a couple runs on just 5 hits. David Dahl takes a strike. David 0 for 2, fouled out and hit a ground ball to first. And this is in the air to center. Bader's there, 1 out. That'll bring up 35-year-old backstop Chris Iannetta.
If you're curious why Tyson Ross has Freeway on the back of his jersey, it was given to him by his brother-in-law. There's a Rick Ross song that references Freeway. And since Tyson Ross, his last name is the same as Rick Ross, his brother-in-law gave him the nickname Freeway.
The origin of how folks get their nicknames is curious at times. How often is alcohol involved?
Almost every single one of them.
2-0. Just like your nickname, Spilligus.
No,
Well, the guy in Queens, for him, not for your buddies, for him. On the swing, 2-1.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever received a nickname from any of my friends for having consumed alcohol or doing something while drinking and making a gaffe, or if you want to call it that. Somehow got a nickname, but I'm sure plenty of people have those.
Twin killing, and there are 2 outs. Or excuse me, that is the 3rd out. I'm losing track myself. 12-2. with 2 outs and 2 strikes. He gave up a 2-run home run to O'Neill, and then it got really rough. And this was the worst thing. It was a good pitch, bounced off the plate by Gomber, and 2 runs end up scoring. Carpenter's had a huge day. He's had 4 doubles in the game, which ties Cardinals record set originally back in 1937 by the Hall of Famer Joe Ducky Medwick. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Tyler O'Neill, Paul DeYoung, and Jed Jerko. Rockies have made some changes, and they're interesting. In left field for the 2nd time in his career, Tony Walters. First time he was out there, the first guy up hit him a fly ball. Matt Holliday moves on the dirt. He's at first. And Ian Desmond, for the first time this year, moves to shortstop. Story will get a little break. Holliday won't have to run as far to get to the dugout. Desi made a start last year at shortstop. He made a couple really nice plays. Ball found him in the 1st inning, if you remember, Spilly. Bouncer up the middle, I remember it. And
to his left.
To his left, and it was not an ordinary play. And he made it smoothly. All those years playing a solid shortstop for the Nationals. Here's the 2-1 on O'Neill. 3-1. Brian Shaw's 2nd inning work. So Desi's gloves now are all over the field, because he's got his shortstop glove, his middle infielder glove, probably an 11.5-inch glove. And in left field, I guarantee you Tony Walters has Desi's outfield glove.
Yeah.
Because he did last time. And that looks like it is. There's going to be a 20 on it if you can flip it over. There it says Ian Desmond on the finger.
And are you betting money that Matt Holliday's first base glove says Ian Desmond on it?
You know, it could, but Matt has his own first baseman's glove. So I'm assuming that Matt is using his own glove.
Well, that would be sweet if he had 3
Wouldn't that be
different.
great? Desi's got a glove for everybody. Be back like 1872. Leave one glove on the field, leave it at your position, and you share it with your opponent. 3-2. Swung on and missed. Strikeout of O'Neill. First strikeout for Shaw. That'll bring up DeYoung.
Head back to school and support the Colorado Rockies by wearing gear from your favorite player. The Dugout Store has 5 locations, exclusive gift with purchase programs, and special promotions.
Saxey was your guy growing up, right?
Steve Sachs was my guy, yep.
Did you have a jersey of Steve Sachs?
My very first T-ball jersey I ever had was a Santa Barbara West Side Boys and Girls Club shirt. And that number was number 3. And I've told this story many times. It was my mother that signed me up to play T-ball. My mom was from Guatemala, my dad being from Belgium. Didn't really have a love affair of baseball, but my mom had a love affair of Fernando Valenzuela. And so she signed me up. The very first jersey I had was this Boys and Girls Club Dodgers t-shirt with the number 3. And I had the chance to meet Steve Sachs years later, and I was hooked.
Cargo trots in and he makes the catch. Shaw has retired Jerko. 1-2-3, 8th inning. Cards up by 10.
Now, two guys not playing in today's game, but certainly had a moment to share today. Sungwon Oh and Colin Wong, former teammates with the Cardinals 2 years ago, and they had some little wager on the Little League World Series that's going on in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and the results are in. Hawaii is the winner. So I guess Wong's going to walk away with this bet. I'm not sure if there really even was a bet, but the two certainly representing their home countries today, guys.
Congratulations to Hawaii. Hawaii's had a nice 24 hours. Congrats to the University of Hawaii. A little disappointed on this end because they came to the mainland and beat Colorado State last night in football. So a rough start for the Rams. McMahon's first at bat. 2-2 count against Tyson Ross.
Trying to guess what kind of friendly wager players on opposing teams could have.
Well, it could be straight monetary wager,
it
right?
Could be just, yeah, here's $100.
This is a line drive to fairly deep left center field. Bader makes the catch. Good swing by McMahon. I'll bring up DJ. Bader plays good center field. He gets good jumps.
He does, but this one was a bit of a mystery. He took a couple steps in. That's where his closing speed comes to play. Normally, if you make a misread like that on a low line drive, that's a double.
DJ a double in 3 at bats. The double crashed into the auxiliary scoreboard in right. By the way, the auxiliary scoreboard now telling a story that we don't like. Arizona leading Seattle 5-1. They got a 3-run home run evidently from Paul Goldschmidt. They were down 1-0 in that game to Seattle. And the Padres were out in front of the Dodgers 2-0. It's now 2-2 as LA has caught San Diego. Back up the middle, a base hit for LeMahieu. We'll bring up Cargo. 2 strikeouts and a line drive to center that Bader made a nice play on. Now Machado's hit a home run and LA's up 4-2. Slice to left and it'll hop out of play. Did you keep any of your bats from Mother's Day, Father's Day?
I have a Mother's Day bat.
One of the pink bats?
One of the pink bats.
Did you keep any of the swag that you got on special weekends?
You know, I have more teammate swag because I didn't really wear a lot of the fancy stuff. Plus, Nike wouldn't give it to me because I wasn't good enough. I would get this. I would get the standard pair of cleats you could get at any local sporting goods store. So I would steal shoes from
the jersey, the Spilborgh's jersey that you
I had to buy it from the team store.
You did?
Yeah.
But the one that you often wear out when we're on the road going out to dinner, was that one of the ones you played in, or was that something you bought at
another team store?
Okay.
Yeah.
This ball is pulled to right. This will get down. And it'll run to the wall for Cargo. DJ will stop at third on a Gonzalez double.
Cargo over 3 against the lefty. Gets a slider that he can handle middle portion of the plate. Pulls his hands inside.
It's the pitcher spot, and Gerardo Parra is going to take the at-bat. Down the line, and that'll get a run home. 3-1 on the put out. Carpenter to Ross. And Tony Walters will come up for the first time.
Left fielder, number 14, Tony Walters.
Strike on Tony. We've been mentioning this. Tony's getting more opportunities the last week, 10 days to start. He is putting together good at bats typically. Yesterday, Tony was 1 for 3 in a walk, had an RBI double in that rather productive 8th inning, which the Rockies scored 8 times last night. Tony was 1 for 4 on Friday night in a 7-5 loss for Colorado. Had a triple and a sac fly on Wednesday against the Padres. You get the picture. DH will be in place the next couple of days for the Rockies in Anaheim. Looking forward to being at the Big A. Always fun. Did you get to play at the Big A?
I did get to play in the Big A. That is a great ballpark.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Tony. It's kind of interesting. The Rockies will have John Gray going tomorrow, Kyle Freeland on Tuesday against Trout, Pujols and company. This is a bouncing ball to second. That'll end the inning. The Rockies do get a run, couple of hits, LeMahieu and Cargo. It is 12-3.
Hello. Cardinals written all over it from the very first inning when they put up a 6 spot. Jenny Kapner, Corey Sullivan with you, getting ready for the Toyota postgame show. Sometimes you get beat and sometimes you'll lose a baseball game. I think this one goes in the category of getting beat from the start.
I'm not sure which area code is 604, but when it's the first 3 innings of a game, it's never good when you're down 10 runs. When you're down 6 after the first, it's an uphill fight. I'm not sure they can dig out. If they have the best 9th inning in history, they might be able to.
That could happen. We've seen stranger things. Guys, we'll send it back to you. We're going to look up what the 604 area code is in the meantime.
I'm on that.
Hey, British Columbia.
I'm on that.
Love
Is it
the
BC?
truck.
It's in the Vancouver area. That's a beautiful area.
Yeah, my cousin's going to be texting us. McCheese McGee is in there. 43 2/3 of an inning, 42 strikeouts. Seeing the high velocity back for Jake.
He did a nice job in his last outing. So McGee will throw here in the top of the 9th. Bader, Munoz, we'll see. And the first pitch from Jake is in there for a strike at 94. So I mentioned the Grays going for the Rockies tomorrow in Anaheim. Kyle Freeland will go on Tuesday for Anaheim, and they've had injuries and some issues in their rotation. There's Kyle. The veteran Odrisamer Despaigne will go tomorrow. He's a veteran right-hander. And then we've been told that on Tuesday, Spilly, it's going to be a bullpen day.
Johnny Holstaff.
Johnny Holstaff. Takes you back to high A, doesn't it?
Yeah, but those games can be real difficult. Facing a new pitcher every single time. With the modern bullpen, Johnny Holstaff is not the fun hitting day that it used to be.
When you used to get Johnny Mediocre.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, this is great. Had my stats day.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bader a double and a sac fly. Crowd of 41,000 today, 235. There was a sellout yesterday. Handful of folks shy of 48,000. And the crowd on Friday night was 43,578. 2-2, swung on and missed. Spun that nicely, 1 out. I'll bring up Munoz.
Colorado Rockies Make an Impact program is a free elementary school assembly that will entertain students while showing them how to make an impact on their lives and communities.
On Munoz. On the ground sharply right at DJ LeMahieu, who has among the best hands in the business. To God, Matt Adams will be the pinch hitter.
We're talking about the 1930s and the St. Louis Cardinals with the Gas House Gang. I was curious how the name came to be. Wikipedia has apparently some history lessons on it, which I'm not always 100% sure that it's accurate, but they said it was because they looked shabby. They had dirt all over their jersey. They spit out of both sides of their mouth. They weren't afraid of nobody. So they ended up getting the nickname the Gas House Gang from
a Phillips station, right?
From their shabby looking appearance.
So they used to call gas stations back then. Dougie, what do you got? Not sure. Did I mess that up?
No.
And Adams hits it to LeMahieu, and that's a quick inning in the 9th. 1-2-3 for Jake McGee. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. As Sully said, the Rockies need an historic bottom of the 9th. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by Papa John's. Use the code ROXWIN for 50% off pizzas at papajohns.com the next day. Follow the Platte River. Down in the old ballpark, the Rockies trailing in the 9th inning, 12-3. It'll be the 4th at bat for Matt Holliday. A single, strikeout, ground out. He's facing Dominic Leone, who just came off the 60-day disabled list today. Mike Myers, who pitched last night, was placed on the disabled list after the ball game. So Leone back with the big club after being out for several months. And Matt lines his to left. He hit it too hard, though. It's the second time Tyler O'Neill had to field a rocket off the bat. Well, Holliday, we said this earlier, he's getting 4 at-bats today. He's going to get plenty of at-bats this week. Figures to. Not only is he swinging it well, but the Rockies will employ a DH the next couple of days, obviously, in Anaheim. And then the Padres will throw at least a couple of lefties because their rotation is populated with left-handers. As he swings at the first pitch, he pops it up left side. 2 gone. And that'll bring up David Dahl. Follow AT&T Sportsnet RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special. And the Rockies score 7 or more as they did last night. On your way about town. And well, right about now, you can get tacos at Taco Bell.
Well, you were talking about the lefties the Rockies are going to face this week. Well, I'm going to give you a pop-up. I'm going to give you a stat. It's the first time a Cardinals starter, lefty starter, has won at Coors Field since Kent Mercker did it July 24th, 1999, and that goes to Austin Gomber today.
Yep,
bringing that stretch.
He's 4-0. Tyler Anderson went just 2/3 of an inning. He drops to 6 and 7. Rockies fell behind by a big number and could not recover. So the Cardinals take 2 of 3. They take the season series 5 games to 2. And the Rockies will head to Anaheim to get ready for the Angels. That'll come tomorrow. Coming up next, our Toyota postgame show.